Ja, letzter Vortrag ist von jemand, die von weit her gekommen ist, aus Chile. Das ist ihr Ursprungsland. Ihr Großvater ist mal von Schweden über Deutschland, dann von Deutschland geflüchtet nach Chile. Und dort hat er jemanden kennengelernt und dort ist Astrid Brink geboren. Deswegen ist ihr Name nicht ganz aus Chile, sondern ist eine Mischung aus Deutsch und Schwedisch. Sie hat in ihrem Leben mehrere Ausbildungen gemacht, eine schamanistische Ausbildung. Sie ist Sängerin, sie ist Liedermacherin. Sie hat an der Europa University Meditation und Mindfulness-Techniken studiert und lehrt das auch weltweit. Sie ist im halben Jahr 6 Monate im Jahr in Europa unterwegs und den Rest in Chile oder woanders, wo das Wetter besser ist. Und sie ist heute hier und sie hält einen Vortrag über die Zyklen der Natur und die Zyklen des Herzens und wird uns danach noch im Ausklang begleiten. Welcome, Astrid.
I'm really happy to be here to share with you about nature and our hearts. It's really a delight to be in a space with so many amazing, beautiful, deep, loving people. And the talk today has to do with our hearts, and I'd like to just take one moment to invite you to close your eyes and connect with the heart. And inhale, creating some space. Yeah. One more time. And we can open our eyes. I'd like to start this sharing by my vision of what intuition is. And when I feel intuition, the image that comes to me is a bridge. And I love circles, you'll see why. And I found this picture of a bridge that creates a circle. For me, intuition is the ability of the heart to hear, to listen to what is. It's the bridge between the seen and unseen worlds, the bridge that connects the conscious and unconscious. And we all have access to that bridge. We all have access to open that bridge. And what goes through that bridge is creativity. What crosses the bridge is the mystery, the life force, the love, from the unknown into the known, from the non-manifested into the manifested world. And that life force, that torrent of life, of mysterious, it sounds a little bit? Hello. Okay. It's the earring. Okay, no moon. Okay, so the mystery. There's something that we cannot explain, although so many of us have been standing here. There's something in life that is a mystery. There's something in life that we cannot really grasp all the way. The sun is still there. It wasn't the earring. Okay. A lot of... Okay, is this better? Okay, wonderful. So the mystery, I'm just going to leave this down here and let the mystery come through. That mystery, to me, moves in circles. Everything in life is a circle. No matter where we look, we're going to find circles. And in this room, from this perspective, I see so many eyes. Is there something weird with the sound? No? You hear well? I hear an echo. Okay. So, in any direction that we look at life, we are going to find circles. A human being, ourselves, the tiny world that we cannot see with our bare eyes, and the big world. And as I was in your workshop earlier, the overview perspective also shows us the circle that we are as one. So all these circles move in cycles. Everything in life is a circle, and everything moves in cycles. No matter where we look, we're going to find cycles. And we are made of these forces. All these cycles, the cycle of the sun, the cycle of the moon, the cycles out there in the cosmos, the cycles in the plants, the cycles in the trees, the cycles everywhere in nature are a reflection of who we are. And that is so beautiful and inspiring. Imagine that the moon moves the waters, and we're made mostly of water. And we're made of those movements. We're not just an observer of that force that moves in cycles in life. We are made of it. And all of that which we see out there, it's living in here. As we can see the rivers, we can also see our blood inside. The blood circulation, as we were talking. Everything circulates, moves in these beautiful, amazing cycles and circles. And everything is a reflection of each other. There's really no separation. I really love this image of our lungs and the trees, and really the details of the lungs reflect everything in the tree. And there's a song that I wrote that says, the universe lives in your eyes, and literally it does. A nebulosa. And this is a map of the universe. The synapses in the brain. It all looks so similar, and it moves in the same way. So we can say that the cosmos, the universe, lives within us. And how can we bring those circles to observe our human life? We also move in circles, and there are phases of the circles. Just like there are phases in the moon, there are phases in the sun, there are phases for a seed to grow into a tree, there are phases for everything. We also go through different phases as a human life, and we're always wondering, it's like this life is made for us to explore that we are it, that we are that universe that made us. And we wander into the mystery. There's always that feeling that there's something mysterious. And that makes this existence so beautiful. Because there's something we will never grasp. There's something that will always remain in the mystery. We explore different emotions and feelings and love. I love this picture of the father and the daughter diving deep into this road of life. And then we grow older. It seems that the heart ripens just like the fruits in a tree. And this is the main thing I want to share with you today. That our heart can ripen. Our heart and our ability to express our love and to be anchored in our presence. It's a process. It's a cycle. And the invitation today is to go into this cycle. My work has been observing these cycles, how they're reflected in the emotional maturity of the heart. And how can we practice presence, compassion, all this that we've been talking about from an anchored place. And I've discovered that there are different ages for these developments. I am not going to go deep into it right now, but there are these cycles of 13 years. When we turn 13 is when our fertility as humans awakens. And at 52, it's around when it ends. And the age 26, it's what I suggest to make a choice for what we're going to do in life, not 18. We have so much pressure, we still haven't explored. This time for exploration. And I'd like to dive a little bit in the intention. The heart also ripens in terms of intention. In the first part of life, we are standing in a place of receiving. I receive, I take life with the intention of being filled by it. So for children, that's a wonderful place to be at. So I must receive to receive and be filled. When I have the experience of being filled a little more, I can step in the next stage, which is giving with the intention of receiving. There's a lot more to say here, but I really want you to have this picture of that development, of that growth. So I'm giving, but I'm still searching to receive, because that's part of the order of life. So it's about receiving and completing my being filled. And there comes the big jump when I can receive in order to give. Very similar to what you were talking about. I receive life to give birth to life. I receive an inspiration to give birth to something. I have a bridge into something bigger, and I give birth to that. And the creativity in that moment of life, which is parenting our projects or our children, it's really powerful. And then it comes the next stage of giving to give. It's no longer about me. In this first stage, it's about me. And then we can grow into we. And this we has to do with something to give. And then we finally go into this universal reciprocity, which is, I don't see the difference anymore. In the moment I am giving, I am receiving, and what I receive from you or what I give to you, I will receive it from another place. I don't need to find the balance in this little circle here, because I'm aware of something bigger. And another aspect that is very important of this development of the heart, quite a few aspects, it's the sense of belonging. We are rooted every day, whether we are aware of or not, in where we feel belonging. Belonging gives me the sense of existing. When we first come to life, we belong to the system of birth, where we are raised, where we are received into life. That's where we find our belonging, and also that's where we find recognition. So we're searching to receive the sense of belonging, and we're searching to receive the sense of recognition, to be seen, to be recognized. Then we go into all these fields of exploration, different groups that we join, different things that we explore, and that's where we find the belonging. Then we go into the co-creation, when we co-create a family, when we co-create a business, when we co-create an organization, when we co-create art, or when we create on our own a piece of art, but there's never really individual creation, it's all together. To finally belong to ourselves, to have a deep sense of self-belonging. But that requires that I have embraced all the previous belonging, to finally have the experience of belonging to it all, and feeling seen by life, by the whole cosmos. What does this do for me? That I can be free of that search for belonging and that search for recognition, and I can meet with you with freedom. So here I chose some pictures to share about this belonging. The first belonging was the family of origin, the groups that I explore, the belonging, the families we co-create, the things we do with others to co-create, or the pieces of art that we create. To belong to ourselves, to really have a feeling of, I'm home, no matter where this antenna is, I am home here, and I am at peace. To finally have the feeling of belonging to it all. When we have the feeling of belonging to it all, I'll go back to that, then we have the ability to be more present and to be more aware of the cycles of life. Every relationship is a cycle. Every relationship is a circle. And here, one of the aspects about this work with the cycles is to master the art of opening circles with the same love that we close them. We live in a society that only looks into life, our relationship with death or with endings. It's not very developed. And in the same way that we open and start things, in the same way we end and honor. And this is directly related with owning our life. Our hearts are the size of our life. No matter what it is that you experience in life, you're capable with it. I am capable with it. There's nothing too big for our hearts. Our hearts are a reflection of the universe. So the entire universe of my life, I can embrace, I can hold. We're all capable of owning, of holding, of embracing, of taking into our life, our hearts, our life. So it's very important from this perspective to own your life, to own the choices you've made. Anything that I don't own owns me, that I have experienced. So if you made choices that you regret, it's good to come at peace with it and embrace them. Embrace those choices that you've made. Embrace those paths that you have walked in life. No matter what it was, how it felt, it's your life, it's my life, and it's sacred, just like we experienced it. So that we can have a wide perspective of our life with a peaceful feeling of embracing it all. Anything that I don't take takes me. Anything that I don't own owns me. So when I embrace and own my life, my age, who I am, the choices I've made, where I'm standing, then I can experience a deeper inner freedom. And inner freedom is necessary for any human creative process to be ripened. We can avoid a lot of emotional things in groups, in any kind of co-creation, if we all do this primal work with ourselves. And also with the story of any organization, to embrace what has happened before, to embrace what others have done, and own it as part of something bigger. This inner freedom also gives me the ability to be gentle, to be delicate, and I don't need to go in the world showing to be seen. I can be the one that sees. I can be the one that gives recognition, and I can be the one creating a field of belonging around us. So other people can feel safe enough to start doing their process of integrating their life and integrating all of their experiences they've had. And that gives us freedom. And that process, which I will not explain today, also has many different ways to do it. I have discovered my own way, which I work with people in the leadership trainings that I lead or the nature experiences I do in Chile, to take that into our hearts, to work with owning our lives. I looked for a picture of a condor, I couldn't find it, because the heart has two wings. There's an order in all these cycles, in all these circles. There's an order that if we honor it, then we have the whole system and nature on our side supporting us. When the heart is in the middle, my body and my mind are in service. When I put my mind in the middle, then I cannot fly, because the mind is a wing and the body is another wing, body-mind, in service of the heart. So it's very important from this perspective to really allow the heart to be the leader of my life, and to allow the heart of an organization, of a project, to be the leader of that process. And the heart, it's a really good leader. It really allows the mind and the body to be the best supporters and helpers for the processes in life. Some of the things that this inner freedom gives us is a deep sense of inner belonging, as I mentioned before, of inner recognition, of presence, and something maybe I didn't go so deep into, it's connection. When I am aware that I am made of these forces, that I am the earth, I'm not a separate being walking on it, I am the earth, I am life, I am it. I don't need to search for a connection. I am connected inside. It's just remembering it. The separation is an illusion. Actually, creating connection, it's another illusion, because we are connected. And that's something that happens from that inner freedom. Anchored in my center. When I'm anchored in my center, I'm not anchored in what you think of me. I'm not anchored in my fear. I'm not anchored in my resistances. I'm anchored in trust, a deep sense of trust and relaxation. When I find that freedom, all is good. And when all is good, I will be able to access the best answers for any questions that rise in my life. Worthiness, of course, and inclusion. I've been really delighted to hear today how many people here speak about inclusion, how important and essential is to include. How can I include you if I haven't included my own life? And that's what the trees do. When the tree is dying, the leaves go into the earth and are included, and let that earth, that soil be fertile for the life of that tree to give better fruit. When I have included my own leaves in my life, then I have space to include you, to be someone with a presence that creates inclusion effortlessly. It's a place that has effortlessness, that happens naturally. The deeper I have a sense of belonging, also, the less I need to hold on to things, and I can just be. The deeper I go into that sense of belonging and recognition, the more sharp it's going to be my intuition and my creativity, coming to connecting with what it's meeting us here. And here we go back to the bridge of intuition. So after this journey of observing how much of your life is included in your heart. And just to end, I'd like to do a visualization. If you can close your eyes. And right in front of you, in front of your chest, is your life. Everything that you have experienced. All of your relationships. And observe, what are those experiences or relationships that you're still resisting to embrace in your heart? And as a first step, I invite you to say, yes, you are also mine. I see you. Yes. And let's open our eyes. I invite you to take that vision home and start embracing those parts and do it in the way that is best for you. Because those things that I haven't taken in are those things creating noise, using space, using my energy, using my mind, creating extra thoughts, extra emotions, extra illness that we don't need. When we embrace them, when we're outside, when these interferences are outside of myself, they're like giants. When I take them in, they take their right size and they find their right place. It's really like a poem, and it's really, really powerful. So I invite you to start taking them in, breathing them in, honoring them, or at least seeing them and saying, yes, I see you. You're also me. And this will allow that bridge of intuition to ripen so that we can use intuition to find our own truth and what is right for us in our lives, in whatever realm, family, business, by myself, and we can find the right answer and that connection for that, rather than to fulfill fantasies. To really be, one thing that this gives us is to really be anchored here. To be anchored in life as it is. And the last but not least is that we can connect with that mystery. Vast, infinito, infinito universo, infinite universe of creativity that we all have access to. But we need to do our work to open that space, to have space to receive it, so that our cups are not filled. We can have space to receive all that. And one person can do amazing things when anchored in their heart. A group of people anchored in their heart, embracing their circles, can do the unthinkable together. So I invite you to do this together, to create a new life, a new world, that it's more aligned with our truth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Astrid. And please stay with me on stage. So this is the end of day one. Not yet, though. We have a last kind of, we called it in German, Ausklang. So your ending tone, which we would like to share with you, you share with us, that you can take home. before that, I would like to give you a little homework. And there are two things which I would love to have you written down. First of all, what was the main impulse you got from the day? The second one is, what was the method or what was the new skill which you have learned today? And third, what, based on this experience today, would you like to change in your life? That's a very simple question, but I think it's important that you start to grasp this experience from today and write it down tonight. And maybe you're going to use the 1-minute brainstorming method from Carmen, or maybe you use another method, whatever is good for you, but just to write it on a paper so that it's there, that you brought it out in the universe. Tomorrow starts at 8:30 with the meditation from Yuko Tolle, and then continuing at 9 o'clock with a reflection with Gabriela and myself. And now I would like, and I know that you are a singer and a songwriter as well, why not you are sharing your tone with us? And maybe, and I know it's not a maybe, it's probably a yes, it will inspire you to join in, and that would be the ending tone. So thank you for coming here, and I'm hearing all what you are giving to us, and then, opening up the space for everybody. Please, thank you. Thank you.
If some of the other presenters would like to join me, I'd like to invite you to come and support the toning. Yuko, come on. So I'll start. We have 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do 3 different tones. And then on top of that, I will improvise what I feel is alive in this moment. Okay, so here we have 1. Great. 1, 2, and 3. Or you actually, guys, can join either of the 3 tones. Okay. Yes. Let's start here. Hi-ya-yo, 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 hi-ya-yo. Let your voice grow. Dankeschön. Dankeschön.
Wonderful.